Chicago Ideas Week. How are we? It is Wednesday afternoon around 4 p.m. and the rest of the world wishes that you were in Chicago at the Cadillac Palace Theater, but they're not. But a lot of people are watching us simulcast around the world. But today we get to talk for 90 minutes with 5 extraordinarily cool people around the idea of work. And what does work mean, and where is it going, and what does it mean to us as a society, and how do we drive a new narrative around this idea, and how do we create work in the relevant and the currency of today as opposed to in the past. So it's 90 minutes flat out, 5 amazing people. I know several of them, and they're going to blow your minds. I believe in passion. And so what I want you to do for the next 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 30 seconds, no, 5 seconds, I want you to imagine what is your passion, the thing that when you get told to come inside when you're a child and your mom and dad say, come on in, and you go, no, what, I'm not going to stop doing it because I'm so passionate about it, and you kind of ignore your mom and dad. What's that thing that you did then, and what's that thing you do today that is the absolute thing that drives you, that fuels you? What is your passion? Ready? Tick, tock, tick, tock. What is your passion? Now what I'd like you to do is imagine what your passion in action is. Those attributes, those pieces and parts, those themes, those things that make your passion up. So for example, mine is soccer, family, faith, humanity, trust, truth are huge passions of mine. But when I think about that idea of soccer, football in a lot of the part of the world, I think of the idea of that being my passion. And then when I think about it being my passion in action, I imagine the pieces and parts and the makeup of why soccer is my passion. And it's simply this: because it's outside. And because we spend 90% of our life inside, we should be outside. So when you're inside, go outside. 2 is it's strategic. And I was the sweeper. I was the last line of defense right before the goalie. And so I got to be vocal, not very good talent-wise, but very vocal. And so I got to scream to the field and tell them where to be. The other thing is it's family to me, because my dad watched me play, and then I watched my children play, and now they come and watch me play old man over 45-year-old soccer. And my wife reluctantly is on the sidelines saying, oh, there he is getting hurt again. But it's family. And it's also international because I believe in the world and not just the USA. And then it's also physical because I'm Serbian and I love to hug. I love a good hug and I love a good kiss. And it's a real one. It's not the GM, like the gymnastic pat on the back with an A-frame. It's like a flat-on good old hug. So I believe in physicality, international, family, and outdoors. What is your passion, and what is your passion in action? Talk to the person next to you for 1 minute around that idea. Go. That was 4. So I was told one time in a keynote speech in Vegas with 3,000 kind of hungover millennials, after trying to get them to be quiet, as the opening keynote speech, I said, be quiet, everybody, be quiet. And everyone they ignored me. And at the end of the speech, a young man walked up to me and said, Mr. Stefanovich, don't look like an idiot the next time you want to get a crowd to be quiet. Just say shh 5 times. So the best little tools of Chicago Idea. 1, shh, 5 times. So your passion, really quick? Theater and helping people, right? New people. So for all the conversations in this room, we made collisions. And so what I want you to do in the context of thinking about work in the future, it's less about skill sets and more about mindset and passion. If you can unleash all of who you are and being your whole self and not doing so much, but being yourself and unleashing all of your passion and all those passion and action attributes and bring them into your world, you have no question other than to leave a fabulously brilliant, productive, great life. So I bring international, family, physical, strategic, and outdoor into my world, and I can't help but have a good life. I don't have a desk, I don't have an office, I have a phone and a backpack, so I'm outside hugging a lot of people and traveling the world. It's a good gig. So find things like this to unleash all your potential. I also believe in this idea of moment of truth. And moment of truth is the idea that things happen for a reason at the time in which they happen, and it's truth personified. And so 2 summers ago, I was at the Yankees game while they were playing the Oakland A's. And as I sat there with my 2 identical daughters, that's redundant, right? 2 daughters that are identical, and they're on the right and left of me, and my wife is back in Soho because we go up to New York every year for a summer, and we live in Lower East Side, 5-story walk up, and we eat Pinkberry, and we go to museums, and we go to children's bookstores, and my wife had done all the great kid stuff and girly stuff for 30 days. I said, it's my chance to take them on to a little event and a little excursion that'll be in my taste and flavor, which was go to a Yankees game, because I think sport personifies life. And life is work, work is life, but sport is right in the middle of that. And so I took him to the Yankee game, and instead of getting the $115 seats, which I wanted, my wife thought carefully and said, for being parental, I would say that the little 9-year-old or 8-year-old girls at this point don't need $115 seats. So instead, I'll get the $105 seats. But we didn't know that it was going to be a crazy, crazy hurricane coming up the East Coast. It was August 30th around 2011, and we were sitting underneath the coverage, just like if you were under there, underneath the coverage, and the people in the front closest to the field were wet. Parkas coming on, umbrellas coming up and down, over and over. In this game with the Oakland A's was a crazy game in the fact that in 4 innings they had played for 4 hours. Tarp coming on, tarp coming off, rain delays, foul balls, more foul balls than I've ever seen. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And there we sat, and it was the 4th inning, and Gracie said, "Dad, we've done it all, right?" And at this point, we had bought the too expensive Yankee hat, and we had they had stuck their fingers in my beer and tasted it because the dad's allowed to do that stuff. And we had done all the stuff that daddies do, like take pictures, buy too much merchandise, stick fingers in beer, and all the other stuff, played thumb wars. We'd done it all, but they were little girls who had said in their own way, "We've seen enough baseball, but if we hurry right now, we can get back to Soho and go to that really cheap sushi place on Bond Street and have dinner with Mom, because tomorrow we drive back to Richmond, and it wouldn't be a great idea if we did that." And they sold me, and we were walking out. And it's the 4th inning, 4 hours in. The Yankees are down 7-2 at this point, and it's a miserably ugly, nasty game. As we're walking out with 2 little girls on my fingers, as I walk them out, and when I marry them off at some point in the future, I hope to carry them like this and not like this, and they'll say, "Dad," and I'll say, "No, grab my finger." And that's what you do, because tradition rules, right? And as we were walking out, I looked up, and I saw the sun coming through the clouds, and I saw it hitting the field, and I saw mist coming up, and I saw umbrellas coming down, and parkas coming off, and I saw a Yankee from behind the dugout go like this. And as we're walking out, I felt something run through me, and it was the moment of truth, and I walked out on it. Fast forward 8 hours later, it's midnight. Jill says to me, "You better go get the car to pack it, because we got to drive home first thing in the morning because the hurricane's pending on the East Coast." I'm walking up 4th Avenue. I look in a bar. I see a young man sitting and watching the TV. It's after midnight, so it's not the 11 o'clock news. And I see that it's a Yankees game. And I walk in, I go, "Wow, I was," and he goes, "You were there?" And I go, "I was there." And he goes, you were there?" And I go, "Yeah, I was there with the girls, and we had to leave to get back to Soho for the cheap sushi." And he goes, "When did you leave?" And I go, "I left in the 4th inning," and his head hit the bar. And he said, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, we left in the 4th inning because Grace and Lottie were so good, but they wanted to get to their mom, and it's the last night in New York, and you understand." He's looking at me as if I'm a Charlie the Peanuts adult going, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." And he goes, "You don't know what happened?" I go, "No, I don't know what happened." He said the Yankees came back to win 19-7 because they hit 3 grand slams in that game to win, the first time in Major League history, and the first time ever to happen in 200,000 Major League Baseball games. I felt I knew the moment of truth, and I walked out on it. As we think about the moment of truth of reincarnating the idea of work and walking into that with open arms, or walking out on that moment of truth, I want you to keep that in mind as you think and hear about from 5 amazing people.